Crisis Management and Emergency Response. Dear participants, you are welcome to the Allogene Academy online program. Please pay attention to this course. Course objectives. Understand the principles and concepts of crisis management and emergency response in security operations. Learn effective strategies for crisis identification, assessment, and decision-making during emergencies. Develop knowledge of incident response protocols and procedures to manage various types of crises. Gain insight into the importance of communication and coordination among security teams and relevant stakeholders during crisis situations. Understand the role of leadership and teamwork in effectively managing crises and ensuring a coordinated response. Outcome. Participants will be able to have a comprehensive understanding of crisis management principles, enabling them to respond swiftly and effectively in emergency situations in their security operations, better prepared to make critical decisions under pressure by learning effective crisis identification and assessment strategies, minimizing the impact of emergencies. Handle various crises with efficiency and confidence, as the course will equip them with practical incident response skills. Course outline. Module 1. Introduction to Crisis Management and Emergency Response. And this includes definitions and key concepts. And importance of crisis management and emergency response in security operations. Module 2. Crisis Identification and Assessment. Crisis identification includes the crisis management life cycle, types of crisis in security operations, early warning signs and indicators. Crisis assessment. This includes risk assessment methodologies, severity and impact analysis, and prioritization of crisis. Module 3. Decision-making during crisis. This includes strategic decision-making, that is, decision-making models and frameworks, cognitive biases, and decision traps. And crisis decision-making tools includes decision support systems and real-time data analysis and interpretation. Module 4. Incident Response Protocols and Procedures. Incident Response Frameworks. Standardized Response Protocols, e.g. NIMS and ICS. Customizing response protocols for specific scenarios. We also have procedures and best practices. And this includes step-by-step response procedures for various crises and best practices for emergency management. Module 5, communication and coordination. And this includes internal communication, which are communication channels within security teams, and external communication, which includes engaging with stakeholders and the public, media relations and information dissemination. Module 6, leadership and teamwork in crisis management. And this includes role of leadership, which are characteristics of effective crisis leaders, leadership styles and their impact on crisis management. We also have building effective teams, that is, team dynamics exercises and roles during crisis, training and to enhance teamwork, stress and resilience management, techniques for managing stress in crisis situations. Module 7, practical applications and case studies. Case studies analysis. Review of real-world crisis and emergency responses. Module 1, Introduction to Crisis Management and Emergency Response. Definitions and key concepts. Crisis management. Definition. Crisis management involves identifying, assessing, understanding, and coping with a serious situation, especially from the moment it first occurs to the point where recovery procedures start. It includes the strategies and processes designed to prevent or mitigate the damage caused by unforeseen or disruptive events. The key elements are preparation, response, recovery, and mitigation. Emergency response. Definition. Emergency response refers to the immediate reaction and action taken to protect life, property, and the environment during and after an emergency or disaster. It encompasses the deployment of resources and the implementation of procedures to address the urgent needs caused by the incident. The key elements are alerting, mobilization, rescue operations, medical aid, and initial recovery efforts. Key concepts in crisis management and emergency response. 1. Risk assessment. The process of identifying potential hazards, assessing the vulnerabilities and potential impacts, and determining the likelihood of occurrence. 2. Incident command systems. A standardized, unseen, all hazards incident management approach that allows for the integration of facilities, equipment, personnel, procedures, and communications within a common organizational structure. Three, Business continuity planning, BCP, the creation of a strategy through the recognition of threats and risk facing a company, ensuring that personnel and assets are protected and able to function in the event of a disaster. 4. Crisis communication, the protocols and processes for communicating with stakeholders, the public, and the media during a crisis to manage information dissemination and public perception. 5. Resilience, the ability of an organization or system to adapt to and recover from crisis, ensuring continuity of operations. 6. Mitigation, measures taken to reduce the severity or likelihood of the occurrence of a crisis or emergency. 7. Preparedness, activities and measures taken in advance to ensure effective response to a crisis, including training, drills, and the development of emergency plans. 8. Recovery, actions taken to return to a normal or improved state of operations after a crisis or emergency has been managed. Importance of crisis management and emergency response in security operations. 1. Minimizing impact. Effective crisis management and emergency response minimize the negative impact of crisis on operations, assets, and stakeholders. By having prepared strategies and protocols, security operations can quickly address and mitigate the effect of an emergency. 2. Protecting lives and assets. Ensuring the safety and security of employees, customers, and assets is a primary goal. Prompt and effective response efforts can save lives and reduce property damage. 3. Maintaining operational continuity. Continuity of operations is critical for maintaining business functions and services during and after a crisis. Proper crisis management ensures that disruptions are minimized and essential services are maintained. 4. Reputation management. How an organization handles a crisis can significantly affect its reputation. Effective communication and response can build trust and confidence among stakeholders, while poor handling can lead to loss of trust and long term damage to the organization's image. 5. Legal and regulatory compliance. Adhering to legal and regulatory requirements related to crisis management and emergency response is essential to avoid penalties and ensure that the organization meets industry standards. 6. Enhancing preparedness and resilience. Regular training, simulations, and reviews of crisis management plan improve the preparedness and resilience of security teams, enabling them to handle future crises more effectively. 7. Cost management. Proactive crisis management can lead to cost savings by preventing or reducing the extent of damage and ensuring a more efficient recovery process. So let's look at what we've learned so far in summary. Crisis management involves identifying, assessing, understanding, and coping with serious situations. It includes preparation, response, recovery, and mitigation. Emergency response refers to immediate reactions and actions taken during and after an emergency. Effective crisis management minimizes negative impacts, protects lives and assets, and maintains operational continuity. A quick test. What are the key elements of crisis management? What is the difference between crisis management and emergency response? Why is preparedness important in crisis management? Model 2. Crisis identification and assessment. The crisis management life cycle. Prevention stroke mitigation. Activities aimed at preventing crises from occurring or reducing the potential impact if they do occur. This includes risk assessment, implementing lifeguards, and continuous monitoring. Preparedness. Developing plans and protocols to ensure readiness to respond to crisis. This includes training, drills, and creating communication strategies. Recovery. Efforts to restore normal operations and mitigate further risk after the initial crisis has been managed. This includes returning to normalcy, conducting after action reviews, and updating plans based on lessons learned. Response. Immediate actions taken once a crisis occurs to manage and contain it. This involves activating response team, implementing emergency procedures, and communicating with stakeholders. Types of crisis in security operations. 1. Natural disasters. Events such as earthquake, floods, hurricanes, and pandemics that can disrupt operations. 2. Technological crisis. Failures of critical systems, cyber attacks, or infrastructure breakdowns. 3. Human induced crisis. Acts of terrorism, workplace violence, or sabotage. 4. Organizational crisis. Internal issues such as fraud, financial instability, or critical personnel loss. 5. Reputational crisis. Public relations incidents, scandals, or significant negative media coverage. Early warning signs and indicators. Environmental scanning. Continuous monitoring of external and internal environment for potential threats. Behavioral indicators. Unusual behaviors or activities such as increased absenteeism, disgruntled employees, or suspicious activities. Technological alerts. System alerts, unusual network traffic, or indications of system tampering. Intelligence report. Information from security agencies, industry reports, or credible sources that highlight potential threats. Incident report. Documentation of minor incidents that could escalate if not addressed. Market indicators. Sudden changes in market conditions, financial instability, or negative trends in key performance indicators. Now, let's see what we've learned so far in summary. The crisis management cycle includes prevention, stroke, mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. Crisis can be natural disaster, technological crisis, human-induced crisis, organizational crisis, or reputational crisis. Early warning signs and indicators include environmental scanning, behavioral indicators, technological alerts, intelligence reports, incident reports, and market indicators. A quick test. 1. What are the different types of crisis? What is the importance of environmental scanning in crisis identification? How can behavioral indicators predict potential crisis? Model 3. Decision making during emergencies. Strategic decision making models and frameworks, rational decision making models. It involves a systematic process of defining the problem, identifying decision criteria, weighing those criteria, generating alternatives, evaluating the alternatives, and choosing the best alternative. The OODA loop, which is observe, orient, decide, and act. A framework developed by military strategist John Boyd, emphasizing quick and continuous adaptation to changing situations. The decision-making matrix, a tool that helps in evaluating multiple options against various criteria to identify the best course of action. SWOT analysis, which are strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. It helps in understanding the internal and external factors that could impact the decision. Delphi technique. It involves consulting a panel of experts who anonymously reply to questionnaires and subsequently receive feedback until a consensus is reached. Cognitive biases and decision traps. Confirmation bias, the tendency to search for, interpret, and remember information that confirms preconceptions. Anchoring bias, relying too heavily on the first piece of information encountered, that's the anchor, when making decisions. Overconfidence bias, holding on unjustifiably high confidence in one's own ability to predict outcomes. Availability heuristic, overestimating the importance of information that is most readily available. Groupthink, the practice of thinking or making decisions as a group, often resulting in unchallenged, poor quality decision making. Crisis decision making tools. Decision support systems, DSS. Definition: computer based information systems that support business or organizational decision making activities. Components: database management systems, which is for storing data, model-based management systems for processing data, and user interface for interactions. Functions: they help in data collection, data analysis, scenario building, and presenting actionable insights. Real-time data analysis and interpretation. Real-time data collection, which is gathering data instantly as events occur through sensors, social media, reports, and other sources. Data visualization tools, using charts, graphs, maps to make data easily understandable and actionable. Predictive analytics, using historical data, machine learning, and statistical algorithms to predict future events and trends. Scenario analysis, examining different scenarios based on real-time data to understand potential outcomes and impacts. Dashboard systems, centralized platforms that provide real-time insights and data visualizations to decision makers, allowing them to monitor the situations as it evolves. So let's see what we've learned so far in summary. Decision-making models and frameworks include the rational decision-making model, the OODA loop, the decision-making matrix, SWOT analysis, and the Delphi technique. Cognitive biases and decision traps include confirmation bias, anchoring bias, overconfidence bias, availability heuristic, and groupthink. Decision support systems, real-time data analysis, and interpretation tools aid in effective decision making. A quick test. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the rational decision-making model? How can cognitive biases impact decision-making during emergencies? What is the role of decision support systems in crisis management? Model 4. Incident response protocols and procedures. Incident response frameworks. NIMS, National Incident Management Systems. Overview. A comprehensive nationwide approach to incident management that applies to all jurisdictional levels across functional disciplines. Components: command and management, preparedness, resource management, communications and information management, supporting technologies, and ongoing management and maintenance. ICS, Incident Command Systems. The overview: a standardized approach to command, control, and coordination of emergency response, providing a common hierarchy within which responders from multiple agencies can be effective. Structure: it consists of 5 major functional areas: command, operations, planning, logistics, and finance/administration. Scalability. It can be scaled up or down depending on the size and complexity of the incident. Customizing response protocols for specific scenarios. Risk assessment. Evaluate the specific risk and threats relevant to the organization or environment. Tailored plans. Develop tailored response plans that address unique characteristics of potential crises. Example, cyber attacks, natural disasters, active shooter situations. Stakeholder engagement. Involve relevant stakeholders in the development and customization of response protocols to ensure comprehensive coverage. Drills and simulations. Regularly conduct scenario-based drills and simulations to test and refine customized protocols. Procedures and best practices. Step-by-step response procedures for various crises. Natural disasters. Preparation. Ensure all personnel are trained in evacuation procedures and have access to emergency kits. Response. Activate emergency operations centers, EOC. Communicate with local authorities. Execute evacuations and shelter-in-place order, and provide real-time updates to all stakeholders. Recovery. Conduct damage assessments, coordinate with recovery teams, and initiate business continuity plans. Technological crisis. Preparation. Implement cyber security measures, regularly update softwares, and conduct vulnerability assessments. Response. Isolate affected systems, activate incident response team, communicate breach details to relevant parties, and start forensic investigation. Recovery. Restore systems from backups, implement enhanced security measures, and review response effectiveness. Human-induced crisis. Preparation. Conduct regular training on handling violence or sabotage. Establish clear reporting mechanisms. Response. Ensure immediate safety of personnel, secure the area, notify law enforcement, and provide support to affected individuals. Recovery. Offer counseling services, review security protocols, and address any identified vulnerabilities. Best practices for emergency management. Comprehensive training. Regularly train all personnel on emergency response protocols and procedures to ensure readiness. Clear communication channels. Establish and maintain clear communication channels to ensure accurate and timely information dissemination. incident command structure. Adopt a clear and adaptable incident command structure to streamline decision-making and coordination during crisis. Regular drills and exercises. Conduct regular drills and tabletop exercises to test and improve response plans. After action reviews. Perform thorough after action reviews post incident to identify lessons learned and areas for improvement. Resource management. Ensure availability and accessibility of necessary resources and equipment for emergency response. Stakeholder collaboration. Foster collaboration with external stakeholders, including local authorities, emergency services, and community organizations. Documentation and record keeping. Maintain detailed records of all incidents, responses, and outcomes to inform future planning and response efforts. Continuous improvement. Regularly review and update emergency response plans and protocols based on evolving threats and feedback from drills and actual incidents. Now let's see what we've learned so far in summary. This module explores various incident response frameworks like NIMS and ICS, focusing on structured approaches for managing emergencies. It covers customizing protocols for specific scenarios, including natural disasters, technological crises, and human-induced crises. Best practices include stakeholder engagement, regular drills, and continuous improvement of response plans through after-action reviews. A quick test. 1. What are the key components of the incident command systems? How can response protocols be detailed for different types of crisis? Why is it essential to involve stakeholders in the development of incident response plans? Module 5. Communication and coordination. Internal communication, which is communication channels within security teams. Understanding the various channels and tools used for effective internal communication within security teams. Radio communication. Description. Use of two-way radios for real-time voice communication between team members. Impact. It provides instant and reliable communication, especially in field operations where quick coordination is essential. Secure messaging apps. Description. Utilization of encrypted messaging platforms like Signal, WhatsApp, or dedicated secure apps for text, voice, and video communication. Impact. ensures confidentiality and allows for the sharing of sensitive information securely, maintaining data integrity and privacy. Emails. Description. Use of corporate email systems for detailed and formal communication, including documentation, instructions, and status updates. Impact. It provides a record of communication and is suitable for non-urgent, detailed information sharing, although it is less effective for real-time coordination. Incident Management Systems, IMS. The description. Implementation of specialized software platforms like WebEOC or crisis management systems to log incidents, track responses, and share updates. The impacts are it centralizes information, facilitates collaboration, and provides an organized approach to incident management, enhancing situational awareness. Telephone and voice calls. A description. The use of landlines and mobile phones for direct voice communication, particularly for urgent or complex discussions. The impact. It allows for clear, immediate communication and is effective for resolving issues quickly or when detailed verbal explanations are necessary. Voice conferencing. Description. Use of platforms like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Cisco WebEx for visual face-to-face meetings and briefings. The impacts are it facilitates visual communication, which can enhance understanding and coordination, especially when discussing complex scenarios or strategies. Intercom systems. The description. Deployment of intercom systems within buildings or facilities for announcement and internal communication. The impact. It enables quick dissemination of information to all team members simultaneously, useful for urgent alerts or instructions. Public address PA systems. The description. Use of PA systems in larger facilities or campuses to broadcast messages to multiple areas. The impact. Effective for making important announcements to a wide audience, ensuring everyone receives the same information simultaneously. Digital signage and alerts. The description. Use of digital screens and alert systems to display real-time information, instructions, or warnings. The impacts are it describes a visual method of communication that can reach people quickly and efficiently, especially in noisy or crowded environments. internal intranet and portals. Description: use of the organization's intranet or dedicated portals to share updates, resources, and documentation. Impact: centralizes information and resources, ensuring team members can access important data and updates as needed. Social media and collaboration tools. Description: use of platforms like Slack, Microsoft Team, or workplace social networks for team collaboration and communication. The impact: enhances real-time collaboration, allows for the quick exchange of ideas, and integrates various communication formats like text, voice, and video. SMS stroke text messaging. Description: sending SMS or text messages for quick, direct communication, especially for alerts and short updates. The impact: provides a fast and direct method of communication, useful for reaching team members who may not have access to other channels. External communication: engaging with stakeholders and the public. Strategies for effective engagement and communication with stakeholders and the general public during security incidents. 1. Clear communication strategy. Description: develop a well-defined plan for how, when, and what information to communicate to stakeholders and the public. Impact: ensure consistency, transparency, and clarity in messaging, fostering trust and cooperation during crisis. 2. Establishing relationships. Description: build and maintain relationships with key stakeholders, including government agencies, community leaders, and media representatives. Impact: it facilitates open line of communication, enabling swift information exchange and collaborative efforts in crisis situations. 3. Listening and feedback mechanisms. Description: implement mechanisms to actively listen to stakeholders' concerns, feedback, and questions. Impact: demonstrates responsiveness and empathy, allowing for adjustments in communication strategies and actions based on public sentiments. Media relations management. Description: engage with media outlets proactively to disseminate accurate information and manage public perception. Impact: control the narratives, mitigate misinformation, and ensure that the public receives timely updates and guidance during crisis. 5. Community outreach programs. Description: conduct outreach initiatives to educate and inform the public about preparedness, safety measures, and crisis response protocols. Impact: builds community resilience, enhances cooperation, and empowers individuals to take proactive steps in emergencies. 6. Crisis communication training. Description: provide training to key personnel on effective communication techniques and crisis management protocols. Impact: equip team with the skill on to communicate calmly, clearly, and confidently during high pressure situations, maintaining public trust and minimizing panic. 7. Social media engagement. Description: utilize social media platforms to disseminate information, respond to inquiries, and address concerns in real time. Impact: reaches a broad audience quickly, facilitate two-way communication, and enhances transparency, though it requires careful monitoring and management of public interactions. 8. Crisis response protocols. Description: establish clear protocols for stakeholders' engagement and public communication in various crisis scenarios. Impact: streamlines decision making, ensures consistency in messaging, and minimizes confusion, enabling effective crisis management and response. 9. Evaluation and improvements. Description: regularly evaluate stakeholder engagement strategies and communication effectiveness through feedback loops and post-crisis reviews. Impact: identifies strengths and areas for improvement, allows for continuous enhancement of communication practices and stakeholder relationships. External communication, media relations, and information dissemination. Best practices for managing media relations and disseminating accurate information during and after a security event. 1. Establishing media contacts. Description: build relationships with journalists, editors, and media outlets to facilitate effective communication during crisis. The impact: it enables rapid dissemination of accurate information, enhances credibility, and manages public perception through trusted channels. 2. Media monitoring. Description: monitor media coverage and social media platforms to stay informed about public sentiment and emerging issues. Impact: allow for proactive response to misinformation, timely updates, and adjustment in communication strategies based on public feedback. 3. Press releases and statements. Description: draft and distribute official press releases and statements to provide updates, clarify information, and address public concerns. Impact: ensures consistency in messaging, informs the public and stakeholders, and maintains transparency during crisis. 4. Media briefings and interviews. Description: conduct briefings and interviews with journalists to provide detailed information, answer questions, and convey key messages. Impact: allows for direct communication with the media, helps shape narratives, and ensures accurate reporting of critical information. 5. Crisis communication spokesperson. Description: designate a trained spokesperson to represent the organization during media interactions and public communication. Impact: provide a unified voice, builds credibility, and reduces confusion by ensuring consistent messaging and accurate information delivery. 6. Social media engagement. Description: use social media platforms to share updates, respond to inquiries, and engage with the public in real time. Impact: it reaches a broad audience quickly, facilitates two-way communication, and enhances transparency, though requires active monitoring and management. 7. Media training for key personnel. Description: provide media training to key personnel on effective communication techniques, message delivery, and handling of press enquiries. The impact: it prepares spokespersons to confidently and accurately represent the organization, minimizing potential for miscommunication or misinformation. 8. Crisis communication plans. Description: develop and maintain comprehensive plan outlining roles, protocols, and communication strategies for media relations during crisis. Impact: ensures readiness, swift response, and coordinated effort across teams, enhancing organizational resilience and public trust. 9. Fact sheets and information resources. Description: prepare fact sheets, FAQs, and informational resources for media and the public to provide detailed background and context on crisis situations. Impact: it helps journalists and the public understand complex issues, ensures accuracy in reporting, and reduces the spread of misinformation. 10. Post-incident reviews and analysis. Description: conduct debriefings and analysis of media interactions and communication effectiveness post-crisis. Impact: identifies strengths and areas for improvement, informs future communication strategies, and enhances overall crisis preparedness and response capabilities. Now let's take a look at what we've learned so far in summary. Effective communication during incident is critical. This model covers internal communication channels like secure messaging apps, incident management system, and video conferencing. It also emphasizes public communication strategies such as media relations, community outreach, and crisis communication plans. Clear communication strategies and ongoing relationship building with stakeholders ensure successful coordination during crisis. A quick test. 1. What are the benefits of using secure messaging apps in incident management? 2. How can social media be effectively leveraged during a crisis? And 3. Why is maintaining strong relationship with media contacts important in crisis communication? Model 6. Leadership and teamwork in crisis management. Role of leadership. Characteristics of effective crisis leader. Identifying the key traits and skills that make leaders effective in managing crisis. Decisiveness. Ability to make quick, informed decisions under pressure, ensuring timely and effective responses to evolving situations. Communication skills. Clear and concise communication to convey important information and instructions, both within the team and to external stakeholders. Emotional intelligence. Understanding and managing their own emotions, as well as recognizing and addressing the emotions of others to maintain morale and cohesion. Adaptability. Flexibility to adjust strategies and approaches in response to changing circumstances and new information. Vision and foresight. Capacity to anticipate potential challenges and outcomes, allowing for proactive planning and risk mitigation. Confidence. Displaying self assurance to inspire trust and confidence in the team, stakeholders, and the public. Empathy. Demonstrating genuine concern for the well being of team members and those affected by the crisis, fostering a supportive and compassionate environment. Resilience. Maintaining composure and perseverance in the face of setbacks, ensuring sustained leadership throughout the crisis. Collaboration. Promoting teamwork and leveraging the strength of expertise of all team members to achieve the best possible outcomes. Ethical standards, upholding integrity and ethical principles, making decisions that are just and fair even under challenging conditions. Leadership styles and their impact on crisis management. Exploring different leadership styles and how they influence the outcome of crisis management efforts. Autocratic leadership, the impact. In crisis situations, autocratic leaders can make quick decisions without the need for consultation, which can be crucial when time is of the essence. However, this style can also lead to resentment and low morale if team members feel their input is undervalued. Democratic leadership impact. These leaders involve team members in decision making, fostering a sense of ownership and collaboration. This can lead to more innovative solutions and higher morale. However, decision making process can be slower, which may be a drawback in urgent crisis situations. Transformational leadership, the impact. Transformational leaders inspire and motivate their team with a clear vision and enthusiasm. They can drive significant positive changes and enhance team cohesion and morale during a crisis. Their focus on long term goals can sometimes overlook immediate needs, though. Transactional leadership impact. Transactional leaders focus on structure, roles, and rewards. This can provide clarity and order during a crisis, ensuring that everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. However, this style can be rigid and may stifle creativity and flexibility needed in dynamic crisis scenarios. Laissez-faire leadership impact. Laissez-faire leaders take a hands-off approach, allowing team members significant autonomy. In a crisis, this can empower knowledgeable and skilled team members to take initiative. However, it can lead to confusion and lack of direction if team members are unaware of their roles or if decisive leadership is needed. Building effective teams, team dynamics, and roles during crisis. Understanding how team dynamics shifts in crisis situations and specific role team members play. Adaptability. Crisis situations are often fluid and unpredictable. Team must be able to adapt quickly to changing circumstances and new information. Communication. Open, clear, and frequent communication is essential to ensure everyone is on the same page and aware of their role and responsibilities. Trust and cohesion. Trust among team members and a strong sense of cohesion can enhance collaboration and improve the overall effectiveness of the crisis response. Role clarity. Clear understanding of each team member's role prevents overlap and confusion, allowing for a more organized and efficient response. Leadership. Effective leadership is crucial to guide the team, make strategic decisions, and maintain focus and morale during the crisis. Training and exercises to enhance teamwork. Implementing training programs and exercises designed to improve team cohesion and performance during crisis. Scenario-based training. Description. Teams are presented with realistic crisis scenarios relevant to their field, which they must navigate and resolve. Impact. This training helps team members practice decision making, communication, and coordination in a controlled but realistic environment. It builds confidence and familiarity with crisis procedures. Role playing exercises. Description. Team members take on specific roles within a simulated crisis situation, practicing their responsibilities and interactions. Impact. Role playing enhances understanding of each member's roles and foster empathy, improving overall team cohesion and collaboration during actual crisis. Tabletop exercises. Description. Teams discuss and work through hypothetical crisis situations around a table, focusing on planning and decision making. Impact. These exercises enhance strategic thinking, improve communication, and help identify potential weaknesses in plans and procedures without the pressure of a real time response. Emergency drills. Description. Regular scheduled drills that simulate specific types of crises, such as fire evacuations or cyber security breaches. Impact. Drills help team members become familiar with protocols and procedures, ensuring quick and efficient responses during real crises. They also identify gaps in readiness and areas needing improvements. After action reviews, AARs. Description. Post crisis or post exercise reviews, where the team evaluates their performance, discussing what went well and what could be improved. Impact. AARs foster a culture of continuous improvement, allowing teams to learn from past experiences and enhance their preparedness for future crises. Team building activities. Description. Non-crisis related activities that build trust and camaraderie are among team members, such as trust falls, problem-solving tasks, and outdoor adventures. Impacts. These activities strengthen interpersonal relationships, improve morale, and enhance teamwork, which can translate into more effective collaboration during crisis. Cross-training. Description. Training team members in multiple tasks and responsibilities within the crisis response framework. Impact. Cross-training increases flexibility and resilience by ensuring team members can cover for one another, maintaining functionality even if key personnel are unavailable during a crisis. Communication workshops. Description. Training sessions focused on enhancing communication skills, including listening, clarity, and non-verbal communication. Impact. Improved communication skills help prevent misunderstandings and ensure that vital information is conveyed effectively during high stress situations. Simulation software and tools. Description. Utilizing advanced simulation software to create virtual crisis environments where teams can practice their response. Impact. High-tech simulations provide immersive experiences that can mimic complex crises, allowing teams to practice in a safe yet challenging setting. Leadership development programs. Description. Programs aimed at developing leadership skills among team members, focusing on crisis-specific challenges and leadership styles. Impact. Strong leadership is critical in crisis management. These programs help potential leaders develop the skill needed to guide their team effectively during crisis. Stress and resilience management. Techniques for managing stress in crisis situations. Learning and applying methods to help individuals and teams manage stress effectively during high pressure scenarios. Breathing exercises. Description. Practice deep breathing techniques such as diaphragmatic breathing, box breathing, or the 4-7-8 method. Impact. It helps calm the nerve system, reduce anxiety, and improve focus, allowing individuals to think more clearly during a crisis. Mindfulness and meditation. Description: engage in mindfulness practices or short meditation sessions to stay present and reduce stress. The impact: it promotes relaxation, enhances emotional regulation, and increases resilience to stress by fostering a sense of calm and clarity. Regular breaks. Description: ensure short, regular breaks are taken to rest and recharge, even during intense periods. Impact: prevents burnout, maintains energy levels, and helps sustain performance over the duration of the crisis. Physical activity. Description: incorporate physical activity such as sketching, walking, or light exercise into the daily routine. Impact: it reduces stress hormones, increases endorphins, and improves mood and overall well being, helping individuals manage stress more effectively. Adequate nutrition and hydration. Description: maintain a balanced diet and ensure proper hydration, avoiding excessive caffeine and sugar. Impact: it supports overall health, energy levels, and cognitive function, which are crucial during high stress situations. Sleep management. Description: prioritize sleep by maintaining a regular sleep schedule and using relaxation techniques to improve sleep quality. Impact: adequate rest is essential for cognitive function, decision making, and emotional resilience, helping individuals handle stress better. Peer support. Description: foster a supportive environment where team members can share their experiences and feelings. Impact: it reduces feelings of isolation, provides emotional support, and enhances team cohesion, making it easier to cope with stress collectively. Professional support. Description: access professional support such as counseling or stress management programs when needed. Impact: it provides individuals with tools and strategies to manage stress and maintain mental health, ensuring they can perform effectively during crisis. Time management. Description: implement effective time management strategies such as prioritizing tasks and delegating responsibilities. Impact: it reduces the feeling of being overwhelmed, improves productivity, and allows for better handling of high pressure situations. Positive visualization. Description: use visualization techniques to imagine successful outcomes and positive scenarios. Impact: it enhances confidence, reduces anxiety, and promotes positive mindset, which can improve performance during crisis. Journaling. Description: encourage writing down thoughts and feelings in a journal to process emotions and reflect on experiences. Impact: it helps release pent up stress, provides clarity, and serves as a tool for self reflection and growth. Humor and laughter. Description: incorporate humor and opportunities for laughter, such as watching a funny video or sharing jokes with colleagues. Impact: it reduces stress hormones, improves mood, and fosters a positive team environment, making it easier to cope with challenging situations. So let's see what we've learned so far in summary. This model explores the essential qualities of effective crisis leaders, such as decisiveness, communication skills, adaptability, and resilience. It examines different leadership styles, including autocratic, democratic, transformational, transactional, and laissez-faire, and their impact on crisis management. The model also focuses on building effective teams, emphasizing communication, trust, and role clarity in high stress situations. It concludes with training exercises to enhance teamwork and stress management techniques for sustained performance during crisis. A quick test. 1. How does emotional intelligence contribute to effective crisis leadership? 2. In what situations might a laissez-faire leadership style be beneficial during a crisis? 3. What role do scenario-based training exercises play in preparing teams for crisis situations? Model 7. Practical application and case studies. Case studies analysis. Case study: crisis management and emergency response in a Nigerian manufacturing plant. Background: this case study centers on Victory Industries, a Nigerian company located in Lagos that specializes in manufacturing of consumer goods, particularly food products. The company employs over 500 workers and supplies goods across the country. Given the nature of its operations, the plant is heavily reliant on machinery, raw materials, and consistent power supply. Victory Industries has historically operated with a robust safety protocol. However, a sudden fire outbreak due to an electrical fault posed a significant crisis that tested their crisis management and emergency response systems. Issues identified: fire outbreak due to electrical fault. A major electrical fault triggered a fire in the packaging section of the plant. The fire rapidly spread, threatening not only the lives of employees but also critical equipment and inventory. Inadequate initial response. The initial response was hampered due to confusion and the unavailability of key firefighting equipment. Employees panicked, leading to disorganized evacuation. Communication breakdown. The internal communication systems failed, with team members receiving delayed or conflicting information regarding evacuation and containment procedures. Potential environmental hazard. The fire threatened to release harmful chemicals into the surrounding environment, raising concerns about regulatory compliance and community safety. Step-by-step procedures deployed to solve the case. Risk assessment and initial response. Risk assessment. Victory Industries had a comprehensive risk assessment that identified fire hazard as a significant risk. However, the electrical fault leading to the fire was unforeseen. The crisis management team immediately activated the incident command systems and began assessing the extent of the fire and potential dangers. Immediate response. The fire response involved alerting all personnel through the company's emergency alarm system. Evacuation plans were activated, directing staff to designated muster points outside the plant. 2. Activation of the incident command system. The crisis management team, CMT, assumed control of situation, appointing a qualified incident commander who took charge of coordinating firefighting, evacuation, and communication. Establishing as Emergency Operations Center, EOC. The EOC was quickly set up to serve as the central point for managing the incident, making critical decisions and deploying resources. 3. Communication and coordination. Internal communication. Secure messaging apps, radios, and intercom systems were used to give real-time updates and instructions to various response teams. The previous communication breakdown was addressed by having redundant systems in place. External communication. The company engaged local fire services, informing them of the situation while providing clear directions to the plant's affected area. Media outlets were notified to manage public perception and control rumors. Four, deployment of emergency resources. Firefighting operations. On-site fire extinguishers and hydrants were initially deployed, but external firefighting team took over with more advanced equipment. Medical response. The on-site medical team was immediately activated to provide first aid to injured personnel while arranging for transport to nearby hospitals. Business Continuity Plan (BCP). Efforts were made to secure vital assets and data, ensuring that operations could resume as quickly as possible once the crisis was contained. 5. Environmental and regulatory compliance. Specialists were brought in to contain and neutralize harmful chemicals that could have been released by the fire. Government agencies, including the Nigerian Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, were kept informed throughout the process. 6. Post-incident recovery and assessment. Damage assessment. Once the fire was contained, a thorough damage assessment was conducted. This covered the physical infrastructure, machinery, and the impact on inventory. Crisis communication. The company spokesperson provided regular updates to the media, stakeholders, and the local community, ensuring transparency and maintaining trust. Employee support. Counseling services were offered to employees traumatized by the event, alongside health checks for those exposed to smoke or chemical. 7. Lessons learned and continuous improvement. After action review, a comprehensive review was conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of the response. Key areas for improvement included better communication systems, regular fire drills, and updating equipment. Upgraded emergency protocols. Victory Industries updated its emergency response plan based on insights from the incident, including investing in more reliable communication tools, enhanced fire prevention systems, and additional training for all employees. Community engagement and reputation management. The company undertook community outreach programs, ensuring that neighboring communities were informed of the safety measures taken post-crisis. This helped rebuild trust and reinforce the company's commitment to safety. Conclusion. Victory Industries demonstrated a proactive approach to managing the fire crisis by quickly activating their incident response protocols, engaging both internal and external resources, and continuously improving their systems post-incident. They effectively minimized damage and restored operations. This case highlights the importance of preparation, clear communication, and continuous improvement in crisis management and emergency response. Thank you for your attention. I hope you have gained ample knowledge on crisis management. Please click on the link in the description below to access the assessment form where you are to fill in your answers to the quick test questions in this course.